What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition. I gotta admit, we came out with this new Clash Candy Blast, and I've been drinking it all day. Probably not a good thing, but I have a lot of energy, so I want to do a video of something that I've wanted to do a video on for a while. But you know what? I think it's about time we do it, and that is Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson is, in my opinion, the greatest bodybuilder of all time, period. He's won the Mr. Olympia before, he's won the Arnold 9 times, and he's been bringing it year in and year out, winning 20 plus pro shows, and just bringing it every year, being a top 6 contender, usually in the Olympia, top 3 at most of the time. He's been through multiple generations. You always talk about the Ronnie Coleman era, right? You had Kevin Levrone, you had Chris Cormier, you had all these amazing, amazing specimens, these amazing athletes, and Dexter hung with them. So then the new generation comes along. Dexter's in his mid-40s plus, still going. Still winning shows, still schooling the young folks, still beating everybody, bringing condition. You put a side-by-side of him. You know what? I do think his legs are a little bit not as crispy, and I'm talking like to the naked eye, you can't tell. Overall, you put a side-by-side picture and you take here down, you can't tell the difference. I mean, man's in his 40s, like late 50, right? And he's still from the neck down looking just as good, if not better, than he did early in his career. He's not only maintained it, but he's actually made improvements along the way. He's had years where he wasn't his best. I don't think 2018 was his best showing at all. But Dexter being off, that's everybody else's best year. Like Dexter, when he's on, he is unstoppable. He is shredded. He is striated. He's a beast. He's full. He's hard. But Dexter not coming in is like everybody else coming in. You know, Dexter is bad as everybody else is good.
Protein bars are self-explanatory. Protein.
I want to make sure that the protein that I'm putting in my body is really natural.
I really want to find protein bars that have whey protein isolate.
But whey protein isolate, that's ideal.
It's a solid protein. It makes me feel good.
This is the Outright bar.
Outright bar.
Sounds delicious.
Pretty excited about this.
Whey protein isolate?
That's the best kind.
Okay. This is good. This is a protein bar for real?
This is great.
I'm gonna get sustained energy, and it has enough protein to help sustain my muscles. You couldn't ask for anything more.
So we hold him to this super high standard of excellence, as he should be. But I actually think, I just did a video, I think Brandon Curry is gonna win the Mr. Olympia. You have Boniak, you have Rolly, you have all those guys who are very good bodybuilders. I do think Brandon is going to take it this year just because overall, I just think he has the size, the symmetry, the density, the fullness, and the overall balance and the flow to take the entire Mr. Olympia. However, I think Dexter could surprise everyone and win another Mr. Olympia literally 11 years after he won his first Mr. Olympia. And that would be astounding, but I don't think it's too far-fetched. I mean, Boniak comes in pretty consistently. Rolly, you never know what Rolly you're going to get. You get the Rolly with the amazing just swoop, fullness and just slim waist. Then you get the Rolly who, I don't want to sound offensive, doesn't have the most svelte of waist. Has the kind of the bubble gut, right? I don't want to be mean because I really respect the guy. Boniak, you know what? He is definitely a top 3 contender. Other than that, man, you're looking at a field that's wide open this year. And I do see Brandon Curry coming in and completely annihilating everybody. But if Curry comes in 1% off, and you know, he's training over there in the Middle East, and you see those guys and they come in, when they come in, it's lights out, right? But I've seen them miss the mark more times than they don't. My fear is that Brandon's camp might mess it up. If Brandon stays on course like he is now, no one's coming near him. But if he slips just a little bit, Boniak, any of those guys, including Dexter, are going to come in and completely take that. Imagine what would happen if Dexter won the Olympia 11 years after winning the Olympia the first time at the age he's at. That is astounding. That is ridiculous. So the thing about Dexter, you also have to look at his life. Like, people love Dexter. You know, like Phil who I love Phil. I think Phil's a great guy. Phil, a lot of people don't like Phil. Oh, Phil's arrogant. Phil's cocky. You don't normally hear that about Dexter. You know, Dexter is just a cool guy. You know, he's just a nice guy, a guy I've sat down, I've talked to, I really consider to be a nice acquaintance to have, very friendly with. Dexter's just a good dude. You don't hear anybody say anything bad about Dexter. You know, even people compete with him. He has the utmost respect. Arnold was a great bodybuilder, a pioneer. But Arnold competed in one era, came back, and won it again in controversial fashion in the 80s, right? Like Arnold nowadays, his legs would overshadow. Keep in mind, Dexter stood toe-to-toe with Jay, toe-to-toe with Ronnie, with Gunther Schleierkamp. I'm going back. Cormier, Flex. Now he's standing toe-to-toe. He stood toe-to-toe with Jay. Let's go through this. With Phil, with Sean, with everybody. Arnold, in my opinion, is the pioneer of the industry. Arnold is not the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Dexter Jackson is the greatest bodybuilder of all time. No one will ever unseat his records. No one will ever have his longevity, and no one will ever be able to transcend from generation to generation and bring it to the young cats every single time. Every single time. That's my opinion. My opinions are wrong a lot of the time. But based on overall wins, the fact he's won the big dance once, he's won the Arnold 9 times, anybody who doesn't have Dexter in the top 3 bodybuilders of all time is out of their fucking minds. I don't give a fuck how many Sandows you win. Sandows are just one thing. It's one thing. You look at overall just mass of just titles. You look at how many times he's contended for the Sandow. You look at how many times he's won the Arnold. Nobody comes close to Dexter Jackson, including Ronnie. That's right, I said it. Dexter is better than Ronnie. Side by side, okay, Ronnie wins. Ronnie at his best, Dexter at his best, Ronnie wins. Dexter and Ronnie aren't that far off in age. Dexter is still competing. Ronnie can barely walk, and I love Ronnie. Staying power, longevity, ability to transcend generation to generation, consistency, and just being an all-around good dude. Dexter is the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Prove me wrong. Comment down below. Like it, dislike it, share it, don't share it. I don't care. Bottom line is, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So, what I need you guys to do is like. If you like it, like it. Like it. If you don't, dislike it. Do something. Just click on a thumb up or a thumb down. Show you did something with this video. Comment. Say something really mean, because that's what people like to do on YouTube. And of course, jokes about my height, me being on steroids, my arms, tiny arms, whatever you want. Go ahead and comment. And of course, share this with all your friends. And if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Appreciate it, guys. By the way, just to let you know, I'm getting into more of these topic videos, getting back in the industry, starting to pay more attention. For me, I'm just being real, like the outright bar has done really well for myself, my family, my companies. So I'm focusing on the mass distribution of that. So honestly, I've been spending all my time dealing with large grocery chains, dealing with C-stores. We're in over 20,000 gas stations and C-stores, including grocery stores. And of course, our industry as well. We're a top 50 bar on Amazon with just one of the flavors. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. MTS I'm spending a lot of time with, but I also have my team doing a lot of that. So just being involved in the industry and being able to kind of get involved. You know, I used to spend a lot of time in the niche, in the industry, and now I'm over here and I realize I really miss this shit. So I'm getting back in. And also, just so you guys know, all this beautiful shit around me you're seeing, we're actually moving next year. We're building a house in Tennessee. I'll be living within 40 minutes of Brandon Curry, who by that time will be the Mr. Olympia. Guarantee it. No, I don't at all. But hopefully he wins, because I really think he has the best physique. But if he doesn't, I do believe Dexter has a good shot of taking the whole thing once again. That's not a game.